1-800-520-1234. Now we'll go to Chris in Dallas. Hi, Chris. You're on the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Hey, Hugh. Thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure.
I am wondering how you can sleep at night bald-faced lying to seniors while at the same time supporting big pharmaceuticals, big insurance companies, and the AMA.
Okay. Now, Chris, break it down for me. What am I bald-faced lying about?
You're frightening seniors by saying that they're not going to get care if we get Obamacare.
Now, Chris, number one, I am frightening seniors quite intentionally because they should be frightened.
Shameful.
What, if they should be frightened, is it shameful? If someone shouldn't, let's say you're in Dallas, right?
They shouldn't be
Chris, let's have a conversation. You live in Dallas, right?
Love to. Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the worst neighborhood in Dallas?
Probably the one that I teach elementary school in.
And so what's the name of it?
It's pretty close to downtown.
Like they got initials or anything?
Oh, City Place is what they call it.
Okay, City Place. So someone comes into town and they're driving around and they stop on a corner and they're talking to Chris, the teacher. And by the way, thanks for being a teacher. And they say, hey, I'd like to go to some place. I'm going to drive this way. And it's taking them right towards City Place. Would you tell them, yeah, you don't really want to go there? Would you tell them that?
Well, we're talking about health care, not
Chris, it's an argument. It's an You're a teacher, right? I'm a teacher. I'm teaching right now the audience why I try to tell seniors beware. Because they're driving towards a bad neighborhood. They don't have any idea they're going to get hurt if they go there. Now, I know for a fact that Obamacare will require rationing. I know for a fact.
What are you basing those? Give me one tiny fact.
The president has said they must take $600 million of savings out of Medicare per year. They got to do that. Do you know what that means? That means they have to take that away in services somehow. Now, the good liberal out there will say, oh, they can get it out of efficiencies. If that's the case, they would have been gotten out of efficiencies a long time ago. And I quote to you, Betsy Markey, Democratic Congresswoman from the 4th District in Colorado, last night.
Whoever she is and whatever say she has in anything.
Well, Chris, are we not supposed to believe are we supposed to not believe Democrats now? She's a supporter of the bill. She said.
I'm saying don't believe Democrats. I'm saying whoever this random congressperson from Colorado is, it doesn't dictate what Obamacare, as you call it, is going to be.
She is a sponsor.
$600 million away. That doesn't mean we're going to take care away.
Sure it does. Now, Chris.
It's a flat misrepresentation.
No, it's not.
And I know it.
Chris.
You're getting paid well to do it.
Chris, I'm not. That's, of course, a libel.
More than your listeners.
Chris, that's a libel, but that's fine. I don't mind. I'll take on lefties all day on this. I'll give you as much time you want to rant because the American people know. Here's Betsy Markey. Last night. All right? It's linked at HughHewitt.com. It is published in the...
my Senator Markey. I don't know who she is.
Well, I'm trying to tell you. Congresswoman,
thank you.
Congresswoman Markey is a liberal Democrat and a sponsor of Obamacare who defended it last night. Obamacare is her baby, and this is the article from the Coloradan. Some people, including Medicare recipients, will have to give up some current benefits to truly reform the nation's health care system, Representative Betsy Markey told a gathering of constituents in Fort Collins Wednesday. Markey has repeatedly said during the August congressional recess that Medicare spending needs to be reined in to help pay for reforming the broader health care system. There's going to be some people who are going to have to give up some things, honestly, for all of this to work. Markey said at Congress on the corner event at CSU. But we have to do...
I think Medicare spending needs to be reined in also.
But Chris, you just told me I'm scaring seniors wrongfully. I am telling seniors exactly what an honest Democratic Congresswoman says, except I oppose that. I oppose...
You know for a fact that death panels are a scare tactic.
I do not agree with that at all. I happen to believe with Mark... No, I don't. Chris, you can argue all day you want. You're not going to change my mind or the mind of the American people. They know that rationing doesn't mean you pull the plug on Granny, to quote Mark Stein. It means she never gets...
The American people are on my side.
Well, Chris, have you looked at the polls?
Yes. About over 60% of the people want health care reform.
Chris, have you looked at the polls on Obamacare?
There's no such thing as Obamacare. That's a trumped-up right-wing talking point name.
Have you looked
That's not what it is.
Have you looked at any poll out there on the president's approval rating? For example, the Economist poll that came out today that shows for the first time he's below 50% at 48%. Chris, you're in the bubble. You got to get out of the bubble.
You That's really good. You're not bad at what you do, but that doesn't change the fact that you're not telling the truth.
Chris, I am telling the truth. Facts are stubborn things, as often I say on this, quoting Ronald Reagan, quoting John Adams. I think maybe it's Lenin. Facts are stubborn things. The fact of the matter is that you cannot sell Obamacare as a cost containment measure, as the president and his Office of Management Budget Director has done, and then expect people not to have fewer services.
We're selling it as a health care measure. So people don't not get treatable health care because
Chris,
their insurance company
that's simply not true.
That's what it's trying to do.
Chris, everybody listening.
I know this.
Chris, everybody listening to you right now, every single person listening to you who tunes into this debate and listens, and I've had lefties on and righties on, they know you're not accurately representing the debate. They've listened to the president. Let me ask you something, Chris. Listen to this.
Here's a guarantee that I've made.
Listen to this.
If you have insurance that you like, then you will be able to keep that insurance. If you've got a doctor that you like, you will be able to keep your doctor.
Is that a true statement, Chris?
I couldn't hear you. I was ranting. I'm sorry.
Okay, here's the President of the United States.
Here's a guarantee that I've made. If you have insurance that you like, then you will be able to keep that insurance. If you've got a doctor that you like, you will be able to keep your doctor.
Is that a true statement,
Keep
Chris?
Your doctor. No one's saying your doctor's going to be taken away. What we're saying is that if you cannot afford health care,
Chris, did the president
you.
You're filibustering. Did the president make a true statement? Chris?
Well, with regards to what?
To what he just said.
What did you just say?
Chris, it's been great. Call me tomorrow on the Hugh Hewitt Show. Honestly.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone.
Welcome back, America. I can't help them. They don't want to talk to me. I can't help them. Chris, call back tomorrow. It's the Hugh Hewitt Show. Andrew in Los Angeles. What do you say, Andrew?
Hey, Hugh. I actually agree with Chris. You just called in. I think this argument's really disingenuous on Medicare because if you guys succeed, if you win and defeat Obamacare as you want to do, and you get control of Congress, you got to handle Medicare later. And you know the rationing is going to come anyway, whoever does it.
You're absolutely wrong, Andrew.
No, you guys have been the ones who have wanted to cut back on Medicare for years. Democrats have always used it against you like a battering ram. Now you're turning the table on Democrats. Eventually, though, someone's got to do something.
You're wrong, Andrew. All you have to do is grow the economy. If you Democrats would get out of the way, allow us to create jobs, grow tax revenues, you could afford this, do health savings account, open up markets, crush the trial lawyers, bring in tort reform. You can save this system, but the special interests that run the Democratic Party won't let us, and therefore you're going to push Granny into an early grave and take away her walker and her artificial knees and her chemotherapy. And, Andrew, I'm sorry, that's the truth. Now, I got to please do that. They are listening. Chris and the other, they're listening. They know what's going on, and they can't stand it that we have truth on our side, and the American people are going to undo their big mistake in November of next year. They know it, and so they're going to do whatever they can to drive this through. So don't let them. Get in the game.